is there no sound? Welcome to South TV. This is your host, Monica Kunsekwe-Guta. Today we have our special guest, Alfred Masunda. He's a visual artist. He's going to tell us more about what he is doing and what he does. I'm also happy to introduce to you Reverend TJ Maforo. Reverend, can you greet your audience?
Okay, greetings to everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. And, today we are continuing in the same spirit of supporting, promoting, celebrating Zimbabwean artists. And this is the spirit that we are trying to inculcate in every Zimbabwean. One good thing about this program is that this is not a program where people fight over little things. This is a program where we celebrate each other. There's so many things that are worth celebrating in Zimbabwe, but people don't see them. They don't have time for them. They have time to sensationalize and to fight. And here we have Alfred today. So Alfred, we are so glad you are coming to join us. I just wanted to highlight this spirit so that you're so welcome here. We are here to hear from you, not you to hear from us. So we are going to take our time to hear you tell your story. And I believe your story is the story of many artists. But I think that's where we can begin there. I don't know if Monica has specific.
I think Alfred will start by telling us who he is. If I say, who is Alfred, what would you say to us?
Okay. So, hello, everyone. Alfred Masunda is a digital artist, also visual artist from Zimbabwe. So the work that I do is mainly digital portraits, digital paintings, but I still also do visual art, that is the fine art that we used to know back in the day, that is paintings, printmaking, and the other stuff. Besides that, I also do graphic design that I've been working. I've worked with different companies before, but then now I've recently started to work on myself on personal projects and trying to survive as a freelance artist and graphic designer.
I think for me, I would like to hear how it's been your journey, because you just told us several terms that we don't know, me and Monica here. You are going to have to break those down for us so we're on the same page. We can never really be on the same page with an artist, but we at least have a basic understanding. But please tell us your journey, how you have got to where you are.
Okay, so my journey had its sort of ups and downs. As I've said before, mainly when I started studying art and design, that was at the National Gallery of Zimbabwe, Visual Art School. And then when I graduated from that, I started to do my own t-shirt and printing business. That was I design and then I would print those t-shirts for sale. So, I mean, for financial reasons, after that, I decided to find other jobs elsewhere so that I can make money and also earn a living. So I kind of shelved being an artist and started working full time in other different sectors. But then the thing with art and artists is that it will always keep on pulling you. You always be drawn to it. So it's been always drawing me in. So like ever since that, I've tried to work in other jobs before, but then like over the past years now, I've been trying to set up my own business and my own staff, my own marketing projects so that I can start marketing myself as an artist. And in the year 2020, just when the coronavirus hit us, we had to work from home. So I decided to just take that opportunity to take the time to work on myself as an artist and work on a number of projects that I wanted to do. So for since that time, I've been working and I've been trying to push my own brand and creating that brand and marketing it on social media. And through that, through social media, using my Instagram, my Facebook, Twitter, I was able to connect with a number of individuals, even from different countries, who like the work that I do and who like the brand that I'm building. So I think it has been working so far and it's ready to even grow bigger.
I I came across a piece of art that you did. I think it's hanging at one of the colleges or universities here in the United States, and
Okay.
I have come across with a piece that my daughter bought from you. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
so maybe that's where the breaking down comes for us. Tell us, what are your products? What do you make? Help us to be able to distinguish between visual arts and other forms of graphic arts and whatever you do. But that's what I would ask for you to do for us. But before you do that, I wanted you to say what, in the area of your domain and art, what has made you the most happy with your hands, with what you have done? Is there something that you can say, this was my best moment in art? And what is that? So then you can move on to maybe try to separate that for us and uh, what you have. I think that so that our people know exactly what you are doing.
Okay. So I think one of the best moments that I've had in art is like sharing my art and ideas with different individuals. So one of my proudest projects was when we collaborated with another group in Zambia called Umoto Arts. We planned an exhibition and we held an exhibition, and it really spoke to so many people, even despite the language barriers, even despite that um, we were from different countries and different tribes. So it actually helped a lot because we even titled the exhibition Breaking Boundaries. We were trying to break boundaries and borders between our cultures. And that was the main theme about the exhibition. And we really tried to come together as artists and seeing the message that we were speaking come across to different people and them engaging with us. I think that was the best thing about it. So I think the best thing about art is the fact that I can get to tell stories within my work. So that is definitely like one of the biggest things that I try to do. Try to share different messages, messages of hope, messages of trying to uplift people, give people inspiration and stuff. So that is like the conceptual side of the art that I do. But then there's also like the portraits that I do. I also do portraits for families and individuals for graduations, birthdays, and even weddings. So with that, I've also tried to make sure that I push myself to make sure that the work that I do is actually of best quality. And so I think I do a lot of work, since it is actually varied. So besides that, I also want to mention the graphic design side of my work. The graphic design side of my work is where I do corporate design and branding design. That is, logos for companies, flyers, digital posters, event flyers, event programs, and also branding designs for artists, for individuals, for t-shirts, for clothing brands. And yeah, so that is like the whole, like my idea of what I'm trying to build. And I'm trying to separate the graphic design side with the digital art side, because I get different clients who are seeking different stuff. That is why my social media accounts right now are currently maybe separated between the graphic design side and also the artistic side.
Yes, I noticed that. I think the phone is on.
No, it's not mine.
Okay, I noticed that you have several pages on Instagram,
Yeah.
which have got different type of art.
Yes.
Yeah, because initially I was a bit confused because I didn't know which one is which, but now that you have explained it, it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense to separate. You've got about 3 or 4.
I have for art related stuff, I have two. That is the graphic design and
Mhm.
then the digital art side. The graphic
Oh,
design is, yeah, is for the flyers and the designs that is normally done for commercial purposes, like someone orders you to do something that is exactly like this or that. But then the artistic side is then where we are like to experiment and try to experiment with new and different stuff.
pretty impressive work that I saw.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think that uh, I am persuaded to even ask you that our next program with you will be to sample and showcase
Okay.
um, some of the work that you do. I have asked about your proudest and highest moments in doing art.
Yes.
What would you say were your lowest points when? Have you ever had moments of feeling like I just have to leave this art things? Are you feeling encouraged, motivated, supported as an artist? So, and I know I will have a follow up to that, but please tell me about your lowest moments of doing art.
Okay, so one of my lowest moments in doing art is definitely after school. I think when you're in school, when you're in art school, a lot of people and even the teachers tend to like soften us up a little bit. But then when you're out in the real world, like there are people coming in with different comments, different views and stuff. So what happened is that I was trying to give my own art out there, but at the same time, I was trying to survive and make money from that. But then the challenge then was that I wasn't making any sales, and no one was actually trying to reach out and say, okay, can I get this? Can I get that? So it was really, really challenging for me. And yeah, it sort of like pushes you to want to give up, to want to say, okay, maybe let me try something else. So that is one of the most challenging things. And the fact also that even in art, right here in Zimbabwe, digital art is not really that accepted much. So a lot of people don't really realize its importance, don't really realize the value that is in the work that we do. And yeah, so a lot of that it keeps on like trying to pull me down, but then ever since that I've tried to push myself and work harder, I've been like growing. So I'm learning to understand that sometimes it's not really that people don't really want the art, but it's just that people don't really understand the art itself.
So, so,
I-
so I think that, like you are talking about your lowest moment, this is where I feel like you have talked about perception, because I think how people perceive art is very critical. It
Yeah.
influences whether or not they are going to support art. And tell me about the resources that we have in Zimbabwe that you would feel like uh, should go towards artists. At a broader scale, are artists appreciated uh, by government,
Mhm.
by organizations, companies, schools, individuals? What's your general observation about that?
I think before he goes to that, we need to
Yes.
talk about the perception, because that's a big issue. It's the
Mhm.
perception of understanding art, what it stands for, what it means, and its value. Once we understand that, we can go on to expand on the questions that you asked, Reverend, because if there is lack of understanding, then there is no value to it. So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
are the general perceptions where art is concerned? I know that art music used to be looked down upon, and
Mm.
if you were to do such things, you'd be viewed as what's
The
the
old one.
English word for rombe?
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Yeah, and also some people say that art is for uneducated people, but that's really
Right,
different.
right. And so, so if that is at the back of the mind of many people, then less likely to support you if they are thinking that you're not educated, and yet it's not that at all. Art is a combination of intelligence and a gift.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
true.
Ref Maforo,
Um,
can you add a bit to that?
I think you just brought it up. Definitely, I was moving at a higher speed here. I think that just give us, just give us in a nutshell what you feel like the perceptions are towards artists.
okay, the perceptions, even from my own experiences, the perceptions are that people don't really understand like what really goes into the makings of art and the time that we take and the time that we use trying to create a piece of art. And also like when we were talking about like people saying it is only for the poor people and also like uneducated people. I think people is from long back people used to see us as if like you won't even earn much from that. But I think in Zimbabwean industry, I think it's actually growing and you can actually make something from that. My experience from that is the fact that when I used to work like from 8 to 5 at another company, before I decided to work on my own, I used to earn a certain salary that couldn't serve me for a month. But then the moment that I decided, you know what, let me do this, let me try and push myself to create this thing. Um, Even in the first 2 weeks, I actually had made my month's salary from the previous company. So I think it's just a matter of people not really knowing and I think maybe we more success stories. We need like more awareness to the fact that this thing actually works. And I've seen a lot of people actually getting inspired by a lot of people that are making it. And even so, right now in Zimbabwe, we like a lot of people the informal sector is kind of making it more than the formal sector. I think it's actually good for people to actually realize that this is actually a certain career that they can choose, and they, if they determined to put in the work, to put in hard work, they'll definitely grow into like great people.
And I will let you know that we are using this space on South TV. We are using this space to
Yeah.
highlight some of these uh, skills and talents and gifts people have, but which have been perceived negatively and differently. So here we are. We are using this space to promote, to highlight, so people can know. I think that we are going to on I think on the Facebook uh, comments there, we are going to be able to have you put your contact information.
Okay.
Also, have you put your links that will allow people to view the
Okay.
kind of work that you are doing. And I think that the goal here we have is to turn around negative perceptions into positive perceptions about art. I am still keen, very keen, to know outside of the close circles that you have, going into areas such as the National Arts Council, areas such as the Ministry of Youth, areas such as relevant government departments. Do you feel that they are accessible? Do you feel that they are giving support to artists? What do you feel about that?
Okay.
Without being political about it.
Okay. Okay. So I think these institutions, they don't really understand, and we don't even have like individuals in there who actually stand for like what we can say is important for us. What I can say is when I look, it's certainly sometimes difficult to find funding in to do like art projects here, and also find like art spaces that we can work around. I think some art spaces in Zimbabwe have been closed up due to funds and money. So I think also because of that, a lot of people tend to just leave it because they don't really even have like the finance and the money to start and create the art itself. So they, a lot of artists certainly tend to become more dependent on the galleries and on the institutions that are there, which are very few. And then what happens is it opens up room for manipulation. So I think certainly more stuff can be done, and I think maybe as artists, which is one thing that I also want to try and do, is like approach these relevant authorities so that we can also engage and they can hear our side of the story, and we can also try to have them more participative in our exhibitions and in the stuff that we do. And maybe then they will actually start to realize, okay, this is something that can be actually good for Zimbabwe, because like We can bring in tourists. We can bring in like a lot of people through collaborations, through different productions. But right now, a lot of engaging around that is sometimes done at personal capacity.
And you see, and again, we have to beat perception.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yes,
have to,
yes.
and my interest is, really, uh, whether you have really approached, for example, the National Arts Council, whether you have really approached at a personal level, whether you have knocked the doors, because we would like to ask them and say, we have talked to one visual artist, because you see, sometimes you hear people talking in a bus, uh, and they may be talking about artists, and maybe none of them has actually taken the initiative. So that's my interest, um, at least because I know the director of the National Arts Council, and I think that we want to find out whether you have actually knocked the doors. Sometimes you have to knock the doors. So, but
Definitely.
from a general response, as far as you are concerned, you have found those national government agencies inaccessible. Is that what we could say?
Yes, but I had a plan for that. I had a plan that I wanted to try, but then I didn't really just want to go there with like just being me. I wanted to like plan something like a local exhibition
But that's
first, and then actually do something first, to which then I can actually invite them and say, okay, we are doing this and we're doing that. So that is actually something that was planning, and looking forward to maybe like in the future when this actually get to happen, like maybe when the COVID-19 restrictions get better. Um, we can we can then approach them and then engage them in like planning a certain event, and them actually seeing, we can do this and we've done this before and it actually works, rather than saying we want to do this, and maybe like that's one of the mistakes that we've been making. We are trying to engage them, but we don't really show them the value and maybe the
right.
profits that can come from that side. So initially, I wanted to plan something for myself as a personal project that I can then say, okay, this is something that I've done before. And would you like to engage in something like this? Because a lot of artists are out there and have the ideas and have the plannings, but they don't have like a way to reach out.
Well, there is value in collaboration and in advocating together as a group of artists. There is, and no one artist is like the other artist. So every artist
Yes,
has their own
yes,
different calling, different. That's why sometimes it's difficult to understand, because if you try to understand them as a group, each artist has their own journey, have their
mm,
own inspiration for why they do art, and
yeah,
so I think that reaching out, what we are hearing constantly is that we have open door policies and open window policies. I think that
yeah.
one of the things is to follow through and say, are these doors open? Are these windows open? So yes, we can only wish you the best, not only you, because you are, from our own perspective here today, you are representing many other artists. So last week we were talking to a poet,
Okay.
and today we're talking to a visual artist. Most of the time we engage with musicians, whether we have access to them directly or not. Musicians, their music is playing all the time.
Yeah.
How can visual artists penetrate community? How can they penetrate the market? Because it's different from musicians. They can sing loud, can have a musical show. What is the space for the visual artists? How do they engage with their environment?
Okay, so what I think, how we can engage with our environment, and I'll also maybe mention like the first thing that I consider being done wrong in our industry, the fact that a lot of artwork that we create um, is not really targeting the local community and the local like industry. So we are not even targeting them. Like maybe sometimes even to these exhibitions, they don't even know that they do happen. So I think we can do a lot of projects that we can try to do and engage within communities. And also, one of the reasons why we are not really trying to target the communities, maybe, is because we are trying to look at sales, because we understand that a lot of the international community, they do buy our artworks. We want to make money rather than have an exhibition in another local community where people don't really understand or pay this certain amount of money for an artwork. They actually tell you, no, not this. But I think maybe let's say we can have an exhibition in Glenora and sometimes, yeah, and show them that this is what we do, and not even like maybe we will do the exhibition and maybe not even focus on the money that we're going to make, but focus on the impact that we're trying to make. Um, the more that we concentrate on these exhibitions and the more that we do them, I think that will actually grow a certain market in our local country. And I'm hoping that it will actually make the situation even better for for us artists in creating a local market rather than trying to reach someone from the Netherlands, someone from UK, someone who is far away, rather than someone right here in Harare who can actually purchase and collect the art that we're making.
I think you are right on point there, because even the national tourism efforts, the pandemic has taught tourism sector to target the local market.
Yeah,
And they
definitely.
have started to talk about hotel space being filled by the local market. And
Yeah,
I was very impressed when my daughter showed me one of your pieces, which is a picture of, I think, Victoria Falls or something like that.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that you are on point, that the way you defined it, that something we are not doing right as artists is to not target the local market. And I get you.
yes.
I get you, because when you sell your product to Monica there, she's gonna say, mfana wadi kungodzikisa mbijana.
Yeah,
You are looking for $50, you end up selling it $20, because that's what we do as Zimbabweans. We don't want to pay the value, not only of art, anything.
Anything.
We
yes,
always
yes,
think that, and it devalues the person who has put time and energy and the creativity on a piece. For people to
Mm-hmm.
then say, no, I won't buy it with the price you are selling it. I will buy it with the price I want to pay. So I think that's the challenge. But I think that we can, I want to borrow from the term you used for the exhibition you did with the Zambians. I think you said breaking barriers, right?
Yes, yes.
And we must also break stereotypes. We must break those negative perception. But it also demands uh, a lot of openness on the side of artists to say, we want to engage with you, our fellow
Yeah,
citizens. If you
yeah.
were going to talk to Zimbabwean citizens in Zimbabwe and Zimbabweans all over the world, can you talk to them about your art so that they can appreciate it?
Okay. So if I'm to speak to someone, I think I'd say um, the art that we're making is like beautifying a lot of people's homes out there. This is the same art that they see in movies, that they see in different places, and the funny, the good thing about art is the fact that sometimes it actually grows in value. So it's something that you can invest in. Like let's say for someone who collects an artwork from Picasso right now, if he tries to sell the artwork, it's like it's supposed to be in millions. Maybe they bought it back then when it was a couple of thousands. So I'm like saying art in itself is an investment opportunity, and the fact that it also beautifies the home, it's a wonderful way of like making the walls that we have, which are sometimes empty and ordinary, the same photos that we have like of each other, but then art opens up creativity, like it also helps nurture creativity in the children that are growing up in these homes. And so I think it's also important. Art also teaches, it teaches us history, it teaches us a lot of like creative ways to express ourselves. So I think art has a great impact if we actually try and take this art and put it in our homes, in even in hospitals. I've also heard of art therapy, like they use artworks to help patients to actually recover because art communicates with the person that is inside. So when someone looks at an artwork, they'll be able to communicate with it better and maybe relate to it better than they can relate to someone trying to tell them this or that. So it's also one thing that I'm trying to communicate with the art that I'm doing right now. Even though it's in different topics and different themes, I'm trying to engage with people and trying to show them that art is something that is relatable and something that can be of great value.
And
Um, art
go ahead.
art tells a story. It tells
Yes.
the story of the artist. It tells it in
Mm.
pictures. So it has a different way of communicating and um, appealing to the person who is looking at the art. But also, I think to encourage more appreciation of art, probably in schools, when teachers are teaching uh, English or whatever, even Shona, to have a piece of art and say to the children, tell us what story you can read from
Yes.
this piece. And the
Yeah.
children can tell their own stories of how they are reading this piece of art. It
Yeah.
also will just teach children from a very young age to learn and appreciate art. But not only that, you mentioned having art in hospitals. Instead of just waiting for the exhibitions, could or actually offer your art to be displayed in hotels and then maybe auction it afterwards. But as people go into these hotels, big or motels or whatever, they see the artwork. And as they see more and more of local art, it registers in their brain that, oh my goodness, that's an amazing piece of art. But also depending on where it's hung, then people put a certain value to it as well. I'm just thinking of ideas that can help us make people more and more aware of the visual arts, the more and more aware of the value of art and what space it takes within our lives, because it is important.
Well,
Yes.
well, thank you for adding that perspective. I am very keen on our program being able to uh, tell somebody about what you are doing and how we can target our local community, our Zimbabwean community at home and abroad. And by the way, we would not for anything suggest that you stop targeting the international market. I think your products, you do have products targeted for international customers and products for the local customers. I will tell you that for those who fly through Atlanta, there's a whole section with Zimbabwean art. So I would never say don't target international, consumers. So today, what I would like to ask is for the listener who is listening to you today, they want to know after this program, if they can get hold of you, what are the kinds of things they can ask you to do for them?
Okay. For me,
For
it's
me here in my home, what could I get from you? For Monica, what could she get from you? We want to hear that so that people at home can know that if they are contacting you, they are contacting you because you can make 1, 2, 3 for them.
okay. So maybe talking like for home purposes, the first thing that comes to mind is personal family portraits. These are always a treasure to have at home, and it's always something that we can look back and say, okay, this is my family, and we've grown from this, and also to say this is an artistic piece that I own of us. And also people, we also like different stuff. People like landscapes, people like dogs, some people like birds. That is also a lot something that I can do in terms of art and painting. People can still order that. There's also I also design t-shirts, so you can have personalized t-shirts for you, for your home, for your children, for your wife and stuff, for birthdays, for weddings and stuff. So other than that, I can also make you can have a calendar that is personalized to your own interests. Um, yeah, with even more some things that motivate you and cause that motivate you without actually saying, okay, you will go into a shop and buy something that's already made. But it's but for me, it's something that I can personalize and do and create for different individuals that are out there that need this product. So basically, I try not to limit myself, and a lot of these things I tend to challenge myself to actually make it, and I'm actually even trying to break new grounds and make even more of these artworks. You can just imagine, even like if I was to make an artwork that was even on a curtain of like a landscape of something, but that resembles something that you truly loved, or maybe it resembles like your home back in here in Zimbabwe. So I mean, like it's something that actually takes a personal interest in someone rather than something that they just buy from a shop.
Well, there
Yes.
you are, to you all who are listening this afternoon. Well, for others this evening.
Yes.
We have with us today Alfred Masunda, and he's a visual artist. And he has just given a profile of the kind of work you can expect him to do for your home. And he will be pinning, or Monica will probably pin his contact details, and he is reachable via social media, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So there are many ways of getting hold of him. What we want to hear from you again is, for those of us who are now domiciled in the diaspora, what we call diaspora now, um, how do we get your art?
So I think the best thing about the type of work that I do is that I also do digital art. So digital art, I sell this in the form of digital prints that I can create from here, right here in Zimbabwe. So when I send them, it's in printable formats that you can use any printing service provider, and they can make a framing for of the artwork for you. Like some of the artworks that I've done for Nyasha, some of the artworks that I've done for other clients that are outside of like here in Zimbabwe. I have clients in Namibia and South Africa that are constantly asking me to make these gifts, and then I send them in digital format, and then they can print them, and then they can put them up in on their walls. And also the good thing about it is that there are no shipping costs, which makes it even more cheaper and affordable. Like rather than if I was trying to make an artwork and then ship it to where you are, to the United States, to Canada, or another place. So yeah, that is the format that I can make this art in digital format, and it's actually flexible enough for you to actually have it in framed, and it's actually very cheap.
Over to you, Monica.
Were those his closing words?
Well, he was offering the information details. We are going to ask him to offer his closing
Um,
word. We have not yet done so, but we just wanted you to kind of get us started with the wrap up for this afternoon.
Okay. I think it's amazing that you are using the resources that are available to you. Social media is huge, and you know you can just reach the rest of the world in seconds as soon as you press enter, and you have got access to to people everywhere. And I talking about it as we are doing here on South TV. Our aim is to empower, it is to inform, and to encourage, to teach as well, because there are so many lessons that we learn from having this show, because our target is Zimbabweans in the diaspora and Zimbabweans back home. And we are huge on the mindset. We want to change the mindset to be one that is productive and to be one that serves us as a community, as a people. We need to shift certain perceptions that are not saving us or that have not been saving us to adopt those that are going to make us successful in business and in life.
Thank you, Monica. And we are going to give the time over to you, Alfred, to give your closing remarks. But once again, for you all who have been following our discussion today, we ask that you share this program on your social media and other platforms. We would want, this is our goal, like we said at the beginning, we would want to play our part, all of us, to change perceptions, especially the negative perceptions about the work that artists do. Number two, we would like to support.
Mhm.
And the way we are supporting is to use the space that is available to us to highlight the work that artists do. So today we have been so blessed to hear the story about the journey that Alfred has traversed. And now he is here and has given us a wealth of information related to the work that he does. I will give this time over to Alfred to give his closing remarks.
Okay, so I just thought there's a way that I can try and show one or two or three pieces of my artwork
Okay.
From my iPad. So okay, I don't know if you can see this. Sorry, let me turn
That's
down the brightness.
a framed picture. Is that's a drawing you did?
Yes. And
Beautiful.
Oh man. So anybody can
this,
give you their picture and you can bring it into this format, right?
yes, yes. This is also this I did it for a couple in Namibia. They ordered it, and without even us meeting, I was able to do the artwork and send it to them. And then maybe I'll show you one more, which is let me try and find something that is good. Okay, so here's another one.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, the quality is not as good as you would see on my page, but I just wanted to share that. Okay, and also for those who want to check out my work, you can go on Instagram and just type in MAD art, that is Mad Art, or find me by my name, Alfred Masunda. That is that is how you can find me, even on Facebook. And also, the last thing that I definitely would like to say is that definitely there are more projects coming in and more collaborations that I'm trying to work on, and definitely I'm always trying to find cheaper ways of delivering these products out to people without making it hard for them to access art, and so that we can have everyone having a piece of art in their home, in their room, or even in their office. And it's not limited to portraits only, but It can be something that an experience that they had, a journey that they took, and we take those stories and we make them into the art that they can appreciate. So I'm looking forward to people who would like to collaborate, who would like to reach out to me. So yeah, I'll definitely share more details maybe in the comments section. So thank you for this platform, and it's really been a pleasure to share this story as I grow and try to build myself as an artist. And I think this platform also has given me a step ahead in terms of that goal. And definitely, I know that by the time next year, even if we have another conversation, if we have another interview, you'll be talking to a definitely bigger, different person. So
I
you
love
can
the I
definitely,
love the positivity. That vibe is great. Thank
yeah,
you so much. And you know what?
thank
I
you.
want to thank everybody who has been following. I can't see exactly who is following us, but I have I have to read an encouragement you have here from Ken Bumira, who says, "Keep it up. Keep up the great work." So please uh, come in and join in and, support our local Zimbabwean art. They will go far. And Alfred says next year, this time, we will be telling a different story. And you
Yeah,
people who are watching, you are part of that history. Please come, join, support local artists, and honored to host Alfred today, Alfred Masunda. And Monica can tell us about tomorrow's program. I think Monica has now been muted.
So I will read a couple of comments. We have great work, Alfred Masunda from Nyasha. We have good going, Alfred. Keep up the good work. Keep moving, Alfred. Somebody's
thank you.
following. So we did have quite a few people. And then always goes above and beyond to make great work, Alfred. Appreciate you, man. This is Lee Mazinga. Okay, so Alfred is going to put his links in the comments. He's going to communicate with you guys in the link for this discussion, and he's also going to share with you a YouTube link. Subscribe and follow. That is how we can grow the support that we want to give to our artists. We cannot do it with 20 subscribers. We do it in volume. So make sure that you share with 5 people. If you receive the link, share with 5 people and ask them to share with their own 5. They like and subscribe and comment to the discussion so that it makes sense. The other closing words that I have, you all had this discussion, and I'm sure you were paying attention. Our artists are vulnerable to abuse and manipulation if we do not support them. They are vulnerable to people who come and pay very little, or because they'll be desperate, some of them end up being manipulated to the extent of receiving drugs and alcohol just because, and that is a problem that we have. We are losing our artists that way. And we have a responsibility to make sure that we protect them, we protect their skills, and we marvel and celebrate them because they are rare. Not everybody is an artist. And so if you have a gem, you need to protect it, you need to keep it. So we need to protect our artists. We need to give them the value that they deserve. Alfred, your conversation with the powers or whoever is in charge, it's going to be easier because you just give them the link and you keep quiet. They'll watch the video. They'll watch the
Definitely.
video, and then you can say, okay, have you finished watching the this is I had a conversation to have with you. But you did a great job. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, and we'll keep pushing and celebrating you. We want you, as you said, we want you back 1 year from today, and you will be telling us what has been your journey from here going forward. Thank you, everyone, for following us. Thank you so much for watching. It is because of you that we enjoy what we do. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.